Is the HTVRont Autopress 2 Digit the best heat press for beginners? Let's find out. So if you don't know, HTVRont actually came out with a heat press about a year ago called the HTVRont Autopress. And it was great because it was automatic. It really took little effort to use, but it had one major flaw. And that was the fact that it didn't have any pressure control. Now, that press would have been absolutely perfect if it wasn't for just that one thing. But fast forward a year later, we now have the HTVRont Autopress 2, which does include pressure adjustment. So just checking out some of the different features that it has. First off, like I mentioned earlier, it has pressure control. And the best thing is that it's all automatic. All you have to do is go ahead and press this button right here, and you'll be able to adjust the pressure all the way down from 50 pounds up to 170 pounds. Now let's see how long it takes for this press to heat up and reach its target temperature of 325. All right, so that was pretty quick. It took about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, the next best one is going to be, or the most often used, is going to be 400 for sublimation. So let's do 400 now and see how long it takes to get there. All right, so this clocked in at just under 6 minutes. All right, so as you just saw, it took about 6 minutes for it to get up to 400 degrees. So that's not bad at all. Within 5 minutes, you can start pressing things like heat transfer vinyl, DTF, and most other applications. Now, one of the first issues that people had with the first HTVRont Autopress was the fact that it couldn't press things like screen print transfers. That requires a lot of pressure. So let's go ahead and test one of those out to see if this one can do it. Now, the reason we're going to be trying screen print transfers is because if it can press screen print transfers, then you can press pretty much anything else that you need, which, by the way, I do have a video on that. So if you want to check it out, in this video right here, I press literally every single transfer that you can think of and really put this press to the test. So make sure you check that video out after this one. It's going to be linked all the way at the end. All right, so here we have a shirt from Yazbek. So let's go ahead and load it up onto the press. Let's give it a quick pre-press. And just so you know, I do have it set at heavy pressure right now at 170 pounds. Here we have our screen print transfer from TKO Sales. So let's see if it presses. Let's go ahead and drop it down on here. Let me change the time really fast. Let's do 10 seconds. And let's press. Let's do this in real time so you can see for sure whether it works or not. As always, you gotta peel these hot and without hesitation. And that is a perfect transfer. The entire thing transferred through. There's nothing left on the carrier. And there you have it. As you can see, it transferred over perfectly. So as you can see, the transfer, it came out super clean. Now, another feature of the HTVRont that makes it perfect for beginners is the fact that while it does have the automatic pressure, it'll still automatically adjust even if you have thicker materials, like let's say a pressing pillow. So let's remove this for now. Let's stick our pressing pillow in here so I can show you what I mean. And you'll be able to see that it's still going to close without a problem. And you can tell right here that it's got a nice and tight seal. So this, for those of you that don't know, pressing pillows are really good for uneven surfaces. So like, let's say if you have a polo that has buttons, you can use one of these to even out the surface and make sure you don't have any uneven pressure. So since it is able to do something like this, which is actually pretty thick, you can also do other things like, let's say, coasters. A lot of people like to sublimate on coasters, so that's something that you're able to do with the HTVRont Autopress 2. By the way, if you do want to check out the HTVRont Autopress 2, it is going to be down in the description below. The link there is my affiliate link, so if you click on it and make a purchase, I will make a small commission. And of course, as always, it is at no extra cost to you, and it really helps me out and it helps out the channel. So if you can, if you're considering it, consider checking out my link as well. Now, another feature of this press that makes it very convenient and really easy for beginners to use is the automatic press function. So there's a little A button up here, which stands for auto. So if you just press that and we push in our platen, it'll automatically close. So let's talk about the size and the portability of it. So this heat press comes with a platen of 15 by 15 inches. If you've seen my prior videos, then you know that that is the minimum that I would ever go with for a heat press. Anything under 15 by 15, don't do it. I made that mistake when I first started. I got a 12 by 10 and it took me forever to get jobs done. So in terms of the platen size, this is great. 15 by 15 inches, like I said earlier, minimum I would go with. Now in terms of the weight, it's actually pretty light. So this clocks in at about 43 pounds, which means you can easily take this to different places. So that way you can press on the spot. Now I know a lot of people like to do their own pop-ups. They like to go to farmers markets and be able to offer their products to the general public in an outdoor setting. And this is perfect for that. It's lightweight, it's easy to move around. And to make this even easier, check this out. When I saw this, I was pretty ecstatic and I was super happy about it. The power plug, it only has the two little prongs. It doesn't have the third ground. So that way you can plug it into pretty much anywhere. Now let's talk about something really important that I completely forgot to mention at the beginning, and that's the price point. So the HTVRont Autopress 2 clocks in at $350. Now in terms of pricing, it is a little bit more expensive than your typical 15 by 15 heat press, but it has a lot more features. Typically speaking, let's say we're talking about a basic fancier studio Amazon heat press, you'll probably be spending about $200, but it's going to be completely manual. It's not going to have a pull-out drawer, and it's going to be a bare bones heat press. So while you are paying maybe $100 or $150 more than your basic heat press, you're getting so much more out of it. You're getting, for one, a lightweight and portable heat press, two, a slide out drawer, which in my personal opinion is more than already worth it. And best of all, you get automatic pressure adjustment. That in itself is a massive feature that pretty much nobody else offers. Besides that though, you have extremely fast heat up times. As you saw, we got up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit in just about 6 minutes. So that alone is huge. Most bigger presses, or at least my old 16 by 20 heat press, that one would take about 30 minutes just to get to 300. To get to 400, I would literally have to turn it on, go watch some TV, and then come back. It takes a while, which in my opinion, that's what makes this press so beginner friendly. It's quick to start. A lot of the times when people get started in the business, they're not gonna have tons of orders. I mean, you never know. A lot of people do end up getting a lot of orders and they become very successful. But when you get started, most of the time, you're gonna be testing out the waters, you're gonna be seeing how things work, and you're gonna be making a few errors. So in my opinion, this press is the perfect beginner press. You don't need a workhorse right from the start, but you also don't wanna go with the cheapest thing either. So this press is perfect for beginners to even mid-range users. And to be honest with you, it's even good for people that have been in the game for years already. People that have a workhorse heat press, simply because a lot of the times you don't want to turn on your big heat press for just one product. Let's say you're selling on a platform like Etsy, you're not always going to have bulk orders on there. Sometimes you're going to have an order here, an order there, which that's where this press comes in. For my Etsy store, I never use my big press just because of how long it takes to actually get it turned on and heat it up. That's why for my quick jobs, my one-offs, my online orders, this is the one that I go with. So final verdict, is the HTVRont Autopress 2 the perfect or the best beginner heat press? Well, I don't want to say it's the best or the most perfect one, but it's definitely a top contender. All of the different features that it offers for the price that it's being sold at, it's definitely 100% worth it. So if you're considering getting the HTVRont Autopress 2, make sure to check out the description down below and use my link. It truly means a lot to me. And it also means a lot that you're still watching at this point. So if you are still here, make sure you subscribe, hit that little bell notification, and make sure you like the video because obviously you liked it. With that, my name is Mario with Neko Prince, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace.